say thank you to the judges and allowing me to come up here and preach. The scripture I'm using is 2 Corinthians 5:14-15. For Christ's love compels us because we are convinced that one died for all, and therefore all died. And he died for all. Those who live should no longer live for themselves, but for him, who died for them and was raised again. People have been compelled by love in many different ways, time periods, and in different aspects. God didn't call people just by certain races, genders, or age. He has called everybody. He's even calling us today to be compelled by love and to reach his people. In the Old Testament, you see plenty of examples of people being compelled by love. For example, Esther. She was compelled by love in an amazing way. She was not only taken from her family and grew up without her parents, she was married to the king and went to the king when it was forbidden. She risked her life for her people. God compelled her in an amazing way. In the New Testament, Mary and Joseph were compelled by love. First, Mary, she was compelled by accepting the gift that God had given her. And even though she felt like she might have been unworthy, not ready, or just unfit to be a mother. Also, Joseph. He not only accepted the gift that God had given him too, he also accepted Mary as his wife, even though she had conceived a child that was not his. Also, Jesus in the New Testament. He was compelled by love. He spent time with the lowest of people. He raised them up. He did not abandon them or look down on them as other people did. He also died on the cross for us. That was the most amazing thing anybody could ever do. People were not only compelled by love in the New or Old Testament. People today are still compelled by love, or even in later days. For instance, Harriet Tubman, she was compelled by love. After gaining her own freedom, she still risked her life to save others. She saved many other people and didn't let anyone go down. Also today, missionaries around the world, they're compelled by love. They go out and they risk their lives, and they give up not having a family or spending time with their family to go out and preach the word and to touch lives and show the love of God. Also, my grandparents, they were compelled by love. They adopted and fostered many children. Even though their parents didn't think it was right for them to have black children, they still fostered them and didn't let that hinder them, and they showed the love of God and touched everyone in their lives. People in our churches, they are also compelled by love. By reaching out to the helpless and the needy, giving out food, clothes, or having block parties, or just inviting people to church. Also, inside the church, by going up to someone and praying for them, and feeling their love and letting them know that you are there for them no matter what, even though you may not understand their situation. People are compelled by love in many different ways. I know I'm compelled by love. I'm compelled by love to be a sister to those who may not have a sister, or to the ones that are in my family, to be a role model and an example to them. Also, to be an RN, just starting in the cities and then going overseas one day. My question to you is, how are you compelled by love? What are you going to do? Are you going to answer the call that God has given you? Are you going to let the force of love draw you to go out? Or are you going to sit back? It doesn't have to be a big, dramatic thing. It could be something small, just as praying for someone, or being just in the country, or in your church, or even in your own family. And I just want you to think about that, because everyone is compelled by love if you allow God to move through you. There is such a strong love that God has, and if you would just allow him to move through you, you can be out and reaching other people in an amazing way that you may not even realize. Like Esther did. She saved millions of people. She saved her town and her people. Harriet Tubman, she set many people free because of her freedom. She didn't let fear get in the way. Or even my grandparents. They stood up for what they believed in and didn't let their own family tear them down. Thank you.